Hey class, Absolute 5 here today. So, today I was thinking about talking about the ego. Now, the ego is two things. It can be your best friend or it can be your worst enemy. Now, what do I mean by that? What is the ego first? The ego is the part of you that you feel like you want to hold back. And it's the thing that makes you think of these thoughts that are not appropriate or they're not right. What do I mean by that? Well, some people, they might look at somebody and they say, oh, I really want to F that person up. Or I really want to look at somebody and just hate them for no reason. Or I'm better than this person. Or you have who the hell do you think you're talking to? And so forth and so on. There's other examples, but everyone's ego is everyone's ego is everyone's ego is this, the function of it is the same, meaning there's this part of you that you can do so much more than everyone else, but at the same time there are some parts of the ego that you have to learn how to make it humble. And to do that, you have to learn what I've experienced is to keep your ego in check, meaning always be humble in the sense that you don't know everything. If anything, I don't even know anything. Even though when I think I know something, I still don't know it. And it's the truth. Just because I'm good at math, that doesn't necessarily mean I know everything in math. No, of course not. That's anyone. Anyone who claims they know everything, they are lying to themselves. It's their ego talking. And that's the truth. It's the absolute truth. And what has helped me as well to make my ego humble is to admit that I don't know everything, and also to seek out people who know more than me so I can learn from them. It's never ever a case where I know everything. I never know anything, if anything. I don't know anything, and that's what always keeps me humble. Another thing that keeps my ego in check is to show respect to somebody else. Even the person could be a bum on the street. It could be the janitor. It could be the cashier even. I show everyone the same amount of respect because you never know what that person can know. Like, if you're rude to, let's say, a janitor, you treat them like shit, you don't care about them, whatever. And funny thing is, life always has a funny way of saying, oh, you want to treat people bad? Okay, I got you. That same person you treat bad, it's always going to be you and that person together where you're in trouble, and it's up to that person to decide whether or not I should call 911 to save your ass. It's the truth. That's why what keeps my ego in check is to show respect to everybody, regardless of who they are, what they've done, and to not judge them because I don't know what they've been through. You understand? I've never walked in their shoes. I could just only imagine what they have been through, and that's all I can do. Because they've already experienced it. I have not. Just like how if you're trying to find somebody to know exactly what you're feeling 100%, you never will, because you're the only one that experiences these things that happens to you. Okay, so that's like, it's hard to always find that perfect soulmate who may not have everything you want exactly, but they complement your other shortcomings. And that's another thing. Here's another thing. Ego will destroy any relationship you're in because you always will think you're better than that person. You always think you're going to compete with that person. A relationship should not be a competition. A relationship should be two people learning to understand each other, to trust each other, to love each other, and to become one. Okay? So that's what I feel a relationship should be when it comes to ego. Now, I say this, granted, there are times I may not always be this way. Like, I know my previous self, well, not my previous self, well, I could say that, yeah, my previous self and my previous relationships, I will admit, I was horrible. I did not even bother sometimes in the relationship. Sometimes I would half-ass gifts, other things that I should have been doing but I never did, because I felt like, why should I do that? I'm better than this person. But in reality, that's not how it should be. It should be 100% one person and 100% the other person, which makes up the 50-50. You see? It should not be, I give a little bit of my effort. You should give 100% and more. And that's another thing. What will also keep your ego in check is your partner. If that person is not pushing you to become a better person than you are, than who you already are now, that person is definitely not for you. You should not even bother with that person at all. You should definitely let them go. Just let them go. Because there are other people who will push you beyond your boundaries to become your your best version of yourself. Now, one more thing I'll say about the ego. Earlier I said, how can it be your friend? Well, think about this. Ego is the part of you that you should never get rid of. It's the yang part of the yin, the good and the bad. It's the bad part of you. Sometimes people don't listen to you when you're all goody two-shoes. So you need the yang to just say, hey, look, listen to me, or I'm gonna do so-and-so. That's why I urge people not to get rid of their ego, but to learn to make peace with the ego and become one with it, rather than just get rid of the ego. It's necessary to keep it balanced. Never get rid of your ego. So that's my advice to some of you, to know that the ego is not something you should get rid of. The ego is something you should definitely learn to become friends with. Because I'm telling you, it'll take you places you never thought were possible, okay? So this has been Absolute 5. I'm Roger Palomino. Always remember, math is infinite because there are infinitely many possibilities. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you next time with another video. Smash that bell button for more content, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, all right? Take care. Peace.